Hi, my name's Krishanu Nigam. I'm 15 and this is my final Insider's Challenge. I decided to go with the first prompt, which was to design a multi-brand store based around sustainability. I went about this by creating many infographics with all the information on it, and this video will just be a summary of all of those. So if you want to see more, I have also included a PDF with the infographics in my submission. So first, let's start with my overall concept. Before this course, I did not know much about sustainability, so that's why I decided to base my store around educating about sustainability, but also about the darker side of the fashion industry. The first section would have a light and natural color palette, and it would be based around the advancements that have been made in the sustainable world of fashion. The second floor or section would have a darker color palette and have much more sophisticated clothing, and that would be based around the darker side of the fashion industry. This would be focused on educating customers about pollution, working conditions, and overall controversies within the fashion realm. Overall, this would be sort of treated as a museum integrated within the store, and all the information would be shown on pedestals, pictures on the walls, videos on screens, and the employees would also convey some of this information to the customers. So next we have just the general information about the store. First, I decided to name it Reframed, which can be defined as to frame or express a concept or idea in a new way. So sustainability is sort of defining fashion in a new way. Also, the museum theme is a new way of educating people on the fashion industry. The location I chose would be Los Angeles, although this is risky because there are so many sustainable stores in Los Angeles. I found that many of them simply sell sustainable clothes without pushing too much of a message. The brand identity of this store would be based around sustainability, of course, educating, and inclusivity. Along with this, the brand's goal would be to show that sustainable fashion can still be luxury, can still be expensive, and chic. Another part of their identity would be sort of yin and yang, the light and the dark of both fashion industries and of just clothing overall. Four of the main brands I chose to sell at this store would be Doen, which is a company that advocates both for sustainability and for racial and gender equality. They're slowly upgrading to a zero-waste policy. They would be featured in the first section because of their more light and airy and neutral-toned color palettes. Mara Hoffman would also be in the same section. They pride themselves in their frequent wellness checks in their factories and making sure that working conditions are good for their employees. In the second section, the more darker one, Stella McCartney would be the first brand to be sold. She is known as the pioneer of sustainable fashion, and her clothing is more professional, sophisticated, and usually has a darker color palette, which is why I think it would work perfectly in the second section. Along with this, Gabriela Hearst would be a great brand because of their similar color palettes. Gabriela Hearst prides herself in being a more personal brand because she uses her own family sheep to make wool for the materials. Next, we have the customer experience. So the customer experience would be pretty standard for a normal store. Customers will be free to browse, try on, and buy whatever they please. The only aspect that makes this different is the museum aspect of the store, which would involve employees to be a little more involved. If customers are looking for a more immersive experience, they could buy the VIP tour. This is a scheduled private tour where the employee takes them throughout the whole store at the different sections and not only allows them to look, but also acts as a tour guide by explaining new things to them in greater detail. Lastly, I want to further explain the museum aspect because I know it could be sort of confusing. I see it less as being a different section that's just the museum and more integrated within the store. So between different clothing racks and everything, there would be pedestals with different articles, different little blurbs of information, and also pictures on the wall portraying events and advancements in sustainability. There could also be small video screens on the wall portraying the same things. Examples of what would be displayed on the advancements in sustainability section of the store would be showing how different materials are made sustainable and how technology is used in the world of sustainable fashion. Examples of what would be displayed in the darker side of the fashion industry section would be facts about pollution and how the fashion industry is the second most polluting industry in the world, right behind oil, and also of different events that involve bad working conditions, such as the Rana Plaza collapse. In the PDF I mentioned earlier, I also included a mood board that kind of shows the overall decorating and creative side of this project. Thanks for watching.